And Mexico looking to improve on that rather ugly run of results in the bottom left corner. Tiana Anderson of New Zealand is in charge of the game's opening match. Mexico in the green, Papua New Guinea in the yellow. And we're almost ready to kick off third, final, decisive match, decisive day in Montevideo. Both the teams learning what it takes to breathe this rarefied air as they grow and develop and settle into life in the HSBC Challenger. And Mexico with the early penalty conceded by Challenger debutant Barbie Michael, brought into the squad, one of three new faces introduced by coach Cecil Davani. And Las Serpientes, the snakes of Mexico, looking to sink their fangs into some Papuan flesh.
Number three. No, high contact.
And this is an early blow for Papua New Guinea. One of their leading lights, Alice Alois, sin bin for 2 minutes. Back-to-back penalties shipped by the Palais. And Mexico with the one woman advantage. Can they exploit it down the edge? It's been Dola looking for the pass, finding only the turf. And that really has been the story of Mexico's weekend so far. There's the high shot from Alois on Maria Fernanda Tovar. First Papua New Guinea possession. Had quite the odyssey just to get to Uruguay. 5-day journey from the islands of home to the southeast shores of South America. Spent a couple of days in Brisbane to break the journey. And from Australia on to South America and into Montevideo itself. And here they come, down to 6, but still packing quite the punch. Fatima Rama, the 43-year-old wizened veteran, sets it up just inside Mexico's half. Now they swing away to the right, and Esther Gigimat, a 23-year-old, 2 full decades younger than Rama. Piercing run, ball spilled. All backwards though, still Papua New Guinea can come. Not this time though. First one backwards, second one forwards, and possession relinquished. But crucially, you can see in the top left corner of your screen, that sin bin period, those 2 minutes are slowly being vacuumed up. And it won't be too long before Alice Alois can return to the fray. Mexico didn't score a single point in pool play in Dubai. Did at least manage a solitary 7-pointer scored by Alessandra Bender. But that's all they've managed in 4 matches thus far. And the handling again lets Papua New Guinea down. That was Vanessa Nakas, one of the trio of debutantes.
Incorrect feed. Must hook. Okay, she can come now, thank you.
Some cold fingers in the warmth of Montevideo thus far. And we've scarcely shifted from this middle chunk of Italia Charrua paddock. There's some space for Mexico to maraud, and the kick is a good one. The pace burning from Mexico. The opening try of the 11th place final, plundered once more by Alessandra Bender. Excellent vision from Bender, and the execution to match what she saw, which was a gaping patch of welcoming green. And Mexico leads. Born and raised in New Jersey, USA, Alessandra Bender. Kick is wide, but 5-0. The Mexicans lead. And it's fine work from Bender. The chip, the chase. And a tidy finish too. Was denied the opportunity of playing rugby as a teenager because her mother back in the States was worried she'd get hurt. Didn't want to see little Alessandra getting bashed about, but moved back to Mexico after 5 years out of the game, took rugby back up again, and it is very much to the gain of Rugby Sevens and the HSBC Challenger that she did so, contributing the only points of Mexico's challenge. Advantage to Papua New Guinea, non-accruing. Mexico a little too eager to get up from that line out. And Lewis takes the tap penalty quickly. Vanessa again, Nakas blasting through the middle. Tovar can't cling on. Oh, almost roadkill made of Las Serpientes defense. Here's Fatima Rama, that distinctive high knee running action. 1v1, swatting aside two defenders, and in goes the veteran. She is an athletic marvel, Fatima Rama. Played football internationally for Papua New Guinea, converted to rugby in her mid-30s, and she's still taking care of business. The ripe old age of 43. Kick from Cynthia Peters as well wide, but tied game, and Rama has her first points in her country's final match of the weekend. As soon as she gets a sniff of space, look at that distinctive running gait. Andrea Espinosa coming across, but it's a physical mismatch, and Rama's home. Mexico now scrambling in their own 22, looking for a route out of it, and they're not going to find it with passes like that. They stack the right-hand side and then come cutting back in, but the ball is stripped brutally away by Cynthia Peters. And Nakas shoveling it on. Peters gets another touch. Oh, two-woman tackle. She is sat on her haunches. Rama thinking about the pass. Doesn't need to pass. Squirms her way forth. But didn't release that ball clearly enough before she let back to those telescopic legs. Would have been time for that line out to be held, despite the halftime hooter blasting. Mexico's kick not making it to touch. Spilled forward by Papua New Guinea, and that will bring an end to a scrappy old first half, lit up by two pieces of solo brilliance, first by Alessandra Bender, and then by big, striding Fatima Rama. All square at halftime in the women's 11th placed final. Papua New Guinea 5, Mexico 5.
Trío sudamericano de referato para el próximo partido.
Yes, please. Yeah.
More clear and
Yeah.
at least warn you,
Yes.
do that.
Absolutely.
Simplemente que la adviertas que ya.
Thank you.
It's the final 7 minutes of action for both these teams in Montevideo, and each will be eager to go out with a bang to avoid the ignominy of finishing
PNG?
at the foot of the standings for this weekend.
All right. Time out
They
now.
know they can empty themselves, give every last ounce of themselves to this final 7 minutes. Who wants it more? Who can handle it more? Alois sets it up. Mexico jackling illegally. Hands on the deck before they latched on the ball.
Leave
And Papua New Guinea want to tap and run. And little wonder when they've got athletes like Vanessa Nakas. She's been an impressive addition to the roster this weekend, but spilled at the base after the carry from Nakas.
Number 6, yellow. Number 6, yellow. Sub.
And Cecil Davani
Sub.
going to his bench, taking off Esther Gigimat.
Hang on. I'll go with that. All right.
Off she trots.
Turn back on. Crouch. Stand. No. Stand. Too close. Okay. Stable. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Oh, Mexico scrum under massive pressure.
Same tunnel.
Ball shooting straight out the side of the scrum, known as the tunnel. And that will result in a mandatory reset of the set piece.
Crouch. Bind. No.
Early drive this time from Papua New Guinea, and Mexico can rise the tempo, can rouse themselves. Well, there's a naughty tackle coming here, I think.
Too high. Off the ball.
Second yellow card. It was both a late tackle and a dangerous one.
Turn back on.
And off for 2 minutes now is Magdalene Swaki, who's not long come on.
Yes, see.
Another power play for Mexico, 7v6. Can they make this one pay? Tovar slaloming up to the 22, held by Rama, and then upended, and that's a dangerous tackle too.
Number 10. You cannot tackle pass horizontal. You follow through.
And Papua New Guinea are going to be down to 5. That horrible tip tackling action from Fatima Rama.
No more.
Tiana, that's gold 3. Who needs the card, please?
Goal 3.
Gold
Oh,
3
hang on.
was the lifter
There's a
in
little
that tackle.
misidentification. So Fatima Rama was involved in the tackle.
10 back on. I was.
She was the
No, goal 3. You
accomplice rather than the key perpetrator.
card. It's a red card.
It's actually Alice Alois, who's already been binned.
No. Reset.
So she's off. Red card, Alice Alois. 2 yellows for one of Papua New Guinea's most vital players. They're down to 5 here.
Next.
Oh, and Mexico lose the ball.
Same. Simultaneous.
And even with a 2-player advantage, Mexico haven't quite got that clinical edge, that precision required to pick apart a depleted defence.
Yep, nice and clear, okay? Crouch.
But have a look at this now. 3 players in the scrum for Papua New Guinea, 1 feeding the ball. That leaves just 1 player outside the set piece. It's Fatima Rama, not a bad player to have.
It's both, okay? Discipline in the set. Discipline in the set, okay? Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold. Hold green. Thank you.
Tricky situation this for Papua New Guinea. And unsurprisingly, the run from Nakas, and then Rama can't take it. And Mexico pilfer it back. And they are flooding through the heart of Papua New Guinea. And it's Bender again. A woman on a mission. Alessandra Bender runs it under the bar. And Las Serpientes finally sees that numerical advantage.
Yellow card's coming back on. Okay.
3 tries for her, 3 tries for Mexico in total. Alessandra Bender carrying the hopes and dreams of her team, knocking over the conversion. 12 points to 5, Mexico leads. Good initial bust from Estefania Bindola. And then Alessandra Bender clearing away. Slight in build, but rapid on those limbs. Magdalene Swaki's sin bin period is over, so Papua New Guinea at least back up to 6 players. Got to negotiate the final 3 minutes, at least 1 down. And they're chasing a 7-point deficit too. There is Swaki, her first touch.
Rolling. Max is here.
Yeah, the Jacqueline player there was fine, but the tackler not rolling away from the base of that ruck. So here comes Marie Biyama. Oh, Biyama slipped the tackle. She's a powerhouse. And Mexico can wave goodbye to the Papua New Guinean speedster. What an introduction off the bench for Marie Biyama. Comes from a rich rugby playing dynasty. Her sisters Claire and Gabrielle both represented Papua New Guinea in 15s. She's been linked with a transfer to the Brumbies of the ACT in Australia. And if that move does come to pass, she'll be the first Papua New Guinean woman to play professional rugby overseas. The kick levels the scores. 12 points apiece. 2 minutes left in the 11th place final. And this now becomes a vital restart to be taken by the wily Cynthia Peters. Plenty distance on it. Mexico allow it to bounce. Tovar and Mender are both in there. Oh, take that! Fatima Rama absolutely smokes Maria Jimenez. But Mexico crucially retain possession. Mender, Tovar, Rama is causing all manner of destruction in the Mexican 22. Las Serpientes
Yellow sub.
being tossed around.
15.
Another substitute by Cecile Damani. It's Biyama breathing heavily after that lung-busting run. Who's off? Doreen Kaputin comes on out wide to replace her. Papua New Guinea still down to 6.
Time back on now.
But it is they now who have the impetus and who have possession on this 22.
Set.
Enormous scrum. Mexico got the hook in there though, and Mexico have the penalty to boot. And the call is to try and probe and stab this downfield and use Mexico's fleet-footed chasers to wreak havoc in the Papua New Guinean rearguard. It's Bender chasing down this bobbling ball and hacked dead by Jessica Refireka. Bender again.
Take it back into in goal by Yellow.
She is such a lethal attacking weapon. And from the penalty, Mexico, they could have kicked for the line out. They had no interest in doing so. They know that over those long distances, those high repeat, high effort sprints, Bender has got the gas on the Papua New Guinea players.
5 minutes. Thank you.
And from defending a scrum inside their own 22, they pack down in the final seconds of the 11th placed final. 5 meters from the Papua New Guinea whitewash. The ball is scooped out, and Mexico
Offside, green.
will need the penalty.
Scrum. Ladies, back on the line.
Papua New Guinea offside from the scrum. The penalty is on the 5 meters line. So Maria Fernanda Tovar is invited to
Mark is here.
come up to the mark. Papua New Guinea ordered back
Mark is here.
to the try line.
Hold.
You can go a bit closer if you want, Andrea Espinosa.
Thank you.
5 meters out, the line beckons tantalizingly. It hovers like the horizon for Mexico. They've yet to win a challenger match this season. This is a golden opportunity to do so. Here's the ball. Here's the opportunity. Big shot coming in. But it's a high one. And is there yet more punishment for Papua New Guinea?
This one. Specialist again. Number 4.
I'm checking the number.
Number 4. Yellow card.
Madeleine Swaki is getting a second yellow. Back-to-back red cards for Papua New Guinea. They defend their own line. A minute into the red, down 2 players. Their discipline has disintegrated. Mexico stacking it away to the right. Surely they must score. They do score.
Time off.
Oh, we need to check the grounding.
Just going to double check here.
Estefania Ithbindola
Confirm. Try no try, please.
crashes onto the line.
Confirming.
Did she lose that ball?
Thank you.
You can award the the try.
It's going to stand.
Tiana, you can award the try.
Estefany Espindola wins it for Mexico. And at the 10th time of asking, Las Serpientes win a match on the HSBC Challenger. Espindola had the player on the outside. She backed herself, and she bagged the 5 points. And although it's the 11th place final, although it's the lowest of the rankings matches, it is a victory that will resonate so deeply with Las Serpientes of Mexico, and it will